Who can even be a bridge to get us to the other side? But I think when we get to the other side, it'll be the other side of realness.
I think Joe Biden has a chance to be LBJ.
Next LBJ.
Yeah, that's the good thing.
I don't believe you can be a Democrat and be a Christian at the same time. I just don't believe it.
That's why you better be independent. You can't be a Republican and a Christian at the same time either. Just ask the evangelicals.
What's up, everybody? It is Monday night, so you know what time it is. It is TFG Tonight. I am your host, Lamar, and we have a lot to get to tonight. There's a lot happening in the political world. If you guys tuned in on Friday, we had a great conversation regarding the Black family and what our issues are, identifying our issues in the Black family, in the Black community, and determining what are some necessary steps we can take to become better as a people. But we're not talking about that today. We're going to talk politics. And to help me do that, who's one of the best people to help me talk politics? Let's bring on my brother. Let's bring him on. We're going to talk some politics. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? Hello, Governor.
Oh, just hanging, chilling like a villain, Governor. Just hanging. Yeah. And we might have a few other people join us.
Sweet.
But pardon me as I share. And if you're watching right now, if you would go ahead and share this broadcast, so we can maximize our viewership. We're talking politics. All right, I just shared. I just put it on my page. All right, so our first topic, Madam Producer, what are we talking about first? And again, we might have some other people pop in, and when they do, we're going to throw them on in, and we'll get the crack-a-lack. And the U.S. Census. All right, the reason I want to talk about the census is I really want to just really just talk about the importance of the census. I don't think a lot of people understand how important it is. I don't want to say Black folk, but a lot of people are afraid to fill out the census for a myriad of reasons. Have you heard this? Have you heard this notion?
Oh yeah. I know people. It's all about the government keeping tabs on you. I know that the census does help out a lot when it comes to redistricting money for districts and all that stuff. So it's very, very important that you fill out this census because a lot of funds are reallocated because of that.
Absolutely. Oh, we got another guest. Beautiful lady. How are you, ma'am?
What's up?
Hey.
You just jumped in on a good topic, the census. We might as well go and get your take on your thoughts of the census. Why is it important? And then we talked a little bit about how a lot of folks refuse or are kind of scared to fill out the census for a myriad of reasons. Have you heard that notion? And what are your thoughts on the importance of the census?
You always have these topics that we have to unpack, right? So
that's unpacking. We got 45 minutes.
So it boils down to just not being educated, right? So once
a lot of dummies out there.
No, I'm not saying that. Educated around, what the census is actually for. I think in our generation, we've heard our parents say it and our grandparents say that, hey, don't put our information on there. We don't want our business out in the street. And, our conversation ties into kind of what you talked about last week, as far as like keeping what happens in the house. So we have to kind of move away from that. Because if we do, and we're filling out these census forms, not only will, it help you and your household, but it's going to help your community as far as funding, as far as the schools, as far as being able to bring businesses in. That way they have money to actually revitalize your community. The more that we dismiss the census, the more that we're going to be in positions to be more of the same. So we're not going to have the ability to do what the Friscos of the world are actually doing as far as building, or have the same kind of education as far as being able to purchase books and things of that nature to push our children, because we're not doing our part. So census ties into us being able to do our part. So we have to be informed around what the census is and stop looking at everything like it's a
government.
Conspiracy. Yeah, conspiracy government theory.
Yeah, yeah. Because I
So
mean,
they don't know you
also,
exist.
right. Also, that it determines how many seats you get in your local and state houses and stuff. People don't really know that. Don't understand that. So that's
Absolutely.
important.
So representation.
Yeah, yeah. Fill it out. I
So
mean,
we got
I
somebody else
do
coming in that I
understand
want.
there is some, issues with, when they were trying to put in and bring in the legal immigrants, to be put on the census form, which I think is wrong, but it's just another way for Donald Trump to try to, tout his immigration policy, in my opinion. Nothing? No response?
Okay. Candace, you want to chime in on this whole census thing?
The census?
My yeah.
Okay.
My computer was tripping.
What's the question about the census? I don't have an issue with it.
Okay. Do you feel like it's important? Do you feel like people are afraid to fill out the census? And if so, why is that? You think it's government conspiracy or something transpired?
I do feel like the census is very important. I don't understand why people don't take it more seriously. Like I'm one of those people. I have a membership to Ancestry.com, so it's helped me find some of my ancestors based off of like the old census.
Oh yeah, me too.
And so it brings different things to your neighborhood. Like they need to know who's out here because, for one, I mean, of course we can vote and we can do whatever, but that census is going to tell who's actually out here. So I think it's very important. I'm not like, I guess, the typical person that feels like it's a conspiracy. I think it's a good thing, actually. And I actually did complete the census.
Can you complain if you don't complete the census about anything in your neighborhood, Sharetta? Do you have a right to complain about
you
your
can,
schools?
but the thing is, everybody's going to get counted. Mm-hmm. There are different operations to ensure that everybody in the country gets counted. So even if you don't fill it out, they're going to come to your house. Legally, they can come to your house up to 6 times to get you to fill it out. And even if you don't fill it out, even after 6 times, they can go to your neighbors to get the information. The information will come.
All right. So let's say you stay in the project, right? And I'm nothing towards people in the project. I'm just saying, just a prime example. You go to the project, when bill collectors come, everybody know, hey, we ain't at home. Mama ain't home. Neighbors even know. We ain't here. So if they do that over and over because they feel like they don't want to be counted, then what? What if they really can't get the information from somebody regarding you?
Believe me, there are ways to get the information. I worked for the 2010 decennial, FYI. So I promise you, like, they will send people, they're going to get that information. I work for the 2010 decennial. You even have to count the homeless population. So there were teams of us that were going to homeless camps at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning to get accurate counts. There will be an accurate count. You're going to get counted.
You said homeless camps?
Yeah. There were groups of us that went out like to where homeless people gather at nighttime, like where they all set up tents and stuff.
Yeah. Bro.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Every person has to be counted. It'll happen.
Okay. So what if you're okay? That's I don't want to beat a dead horse. So let's go to the next topic. What we got, Mr. Producer? I was about to say something crazy and I don't want to do it. I ain't ready yet.
Do it.
Passing of Herman. I want us all to just die here to take a moment of silence. 10 seconds for Herman Cain.
Sorry.
What? Did you laugh?
Yes, did you laugh in the middle of silence?
Sorry.
Ricky covered his face. What is going on? A great patriot has died, according to Fox News. Okay, that chose to go to the Trump rally in Tulsa and take a picture. Yes, y'all take a pizza guy, take a photograph with some other blacks and post it on social media, kind of touting us that we here. And then he got COVID about 2 weeks later, or something like that.
Yeah, I wanted to say I've never been a fan of Herman Cain. It is sad that he has passed away. The only thing that I was a fan of, though, he graduated from Morehouse College. He always donated to Morehouse, so I was a yes. People don't know that, but as for helping the Black community as a whole, that isn't something that he did. So, but I mean,
Anybody ever
it's
had his
sad.
pizza, Godfather's pizza?
He what?
Any of y'all ever, he founded Godfather's Pizza. Any of y'all ever tasted a slice?
Yes, I have.
How is
It's pizza.
it's delicious. Okay. Tam, what are your thoughts on
Why you put me in the hot seat?
you think quiet over it?
Here's the thing. If you went to this Trump rally with no mask, you had underlying health conditions such as his. I feel sorry that he's passed away, but at the same time, at some point, guys, we just got to use wisdom. We just got to start using wisdom, and it shouldn't be mandated that we need to be out here wearing masks. We already know the importance of prevention, right? Not just with COVID, with any kind of sickness. We have preventative measures for every sickness that's out here. So at some point, for him to be as wise as he was, it's sad that he didn't use wisdom in that moment. So rest in peace.
Whoa, rest in heaven. Listen, now before we go to you, Rick, I was a big fan of his 999 plan. Listen,
oh my goodness,
because I'm a fan of the flat tax. The 999 plan could have been great for America. All right, go ahead, Rick.
I think this is an example of how political this thing have really gotten, and it's sad because people are losing their lives when you make these issues political, like wearing masks and having rallies and stuff when you shouldn't. Unfortunately, people are going to die from that. I see it all the time, but this is just not with Trump rally. This happens, this is going on right now in churches, and so people are having still church services and revivals, and people are contracting COVID-19. It's just really we got to just look at what's going on.
Talk about that stupidity. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Lamar. I mean, I'm gonna be frank. I tested positive for COVID-19 on Thursday, and so I was super sick on Wednesday and Thursday. Went in, got tested, and tested positive, and man, there's nothing to play with. And so, I feel like I've taken all the precautions that I can take, and come to contact with somebody who's asymptomatic, and I end up getting it. And so and that's just been around family. So even being around family, we can get this. So it's just very important for us to just really, do what we got to do to keep yourself safe and the people around you safe. So when you make these things political, people are going to, stand and draw their lines in the sand, and unfortunately, some people are going to die. And unfortunately, he was one of the ones that had to lose his life. So yeah, it's sad, but like Tam said, you got to use wisdom.
Yeah. I know. And one of you ladies up top want to talk about it before I jump into this whole churches still having church and having revivals and acting like people getting healed and catching COVID.
I'll say, because I currently have 3 family members with COVID, very close family members. My mama, my granny. Yes, my mama has COVID. My granny is in the hospital and she has COVID. And my aunt technically tested inconclusive, but she has all the symptoms. And then just found out today that my dad's wife was exposed at work. She works in a group home, and 3 of her clients tested positive. So now She has been tested. My dad can't. They won't test him until his wife's test results come back. So they're in quarantine, and my mom is in quarantine, and my aunt is in quarantine, and my granny is in the hospital.
Yeah.
So,
I know that quarantine life. I'm stuck in the room.
yeah, that quarantine life ain't it ain't no fun. Just come on, people. It ain't that hard to put a dang mask on. Like, and that's with, like, my mom was wearing masks. Like, I was making sure. And I know my family, like, when this all first started, I was going and buying groceries and leaving them outside my granny's door so that she wouldn't have to go out and go to the store. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, people. It ain't that hard to put a mask on. If you gotta go somewhere, and if you ain't gotta go nowhere, stay your nappy head self at home.
And I am one for religious freedom, people to express their faith openly, and I think that's great. This is the country that we live in, and now ain't the time. Do that at home.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of old people still going to these churches, and they are those people that are high risk. Like, stay home.
I'll say this,
There's a lot of people.
and I know people.
Oh, go ahead, Candace.
I was gonna say, I know a lot of people want to visit family and friends, but really, like for me, when I was pregnant and now I have a new baby, I only deal with the people in my household. I cannot see other relatives right now because of that risk, because we don't know who has it, who's asymptomatic. I don't know where my cousin that lives maybe an hour away has been. So
that's how I got. I'm helping somebody move.
And my mom is pretty much asymptomatic. She only had a slight little cough and some fatigue, but she worked graveyard shift, so she thought she was tired because she worked graveyard shift, and this little cough she thought was allergies, and as it turns out, she's COVID positive.
There's nothing funny. I'm sick as a dog, man. So
I believe in a virtual God. God is like virtual reality.
What?
I believe
he can come in through the airways, huh?
I believe he can reach the Lord through video. I believe if you believe in prayer and supplication, whatever that is, I believe you can get that virtually. You don't need to be sitting in some nasty, dirty church house that ain't been properly CDC sanitized regularly, like you have to do at these businesses where I work and other places. And you got people coming in that's around all these different folks with carrying COVID, and folks think that the Lord is going to heal them when they not having wisdom, when they choosing to go. I don't want to get on. I don't want to talk about it.
I don't think we would call God virtual. I think omnipresent is a better word.
Oh, okay.
Let's go with omnipresent.
Virtual God. He's good.
Jesus don't have Facebook or Facebook Messenger. For all y'all people that keep sending them, Jesus said he wants this message to go around the world. Jesus don't have Facebook or Facebook Messenger.
I got an uncle that sent me that area. I'm about to block. Don't send me this no more. Thank you. All right. What's the next topic? I hate you trying to witness to me in Messenger. All right, reparations. Ooh, Tam, you can lead this one. All right, so listen. I heard T.I. talk to somebody this morning. What's that guy name? Keeping it up with, what's that black guy? Keeping it
Roland
up
Martin.
Roland Martin. Yeah. So T.I. talked to Roland Martin this morning, and he just,
Keeping up with the Kardashians?
I was like,
no. That's like Roland Martin. He got keeping up with. Anyway, I send it to y'all. Roland Martin. He talked to Roland Martin about his plan for the Lords of London, whoever that is. I should have researched it. How they had something to do with the slave trade, and they insured somebody or another. Anyway, he come up with this whole letter he's come up with on what he wants them to do as a form of reparations for the black folks in America. And these are the Lords of London who are in London. So Ice Cube has something he wants to do. He has something he's proposing that he wants people to do as it relates to reparation. It's like everybody has their own plan rather than everybody getting together and comprising a plan together. What are your thoughts, Tam, on how we should go about seeking reparations?
HR 40. We need to stand behind the HR 40 first and foremost. We need to be reaching out to our representatives to have them push that bill to get it to the floor. I think it's really important because it's starting to make a lot of traction. And if you look at it, because I get alerts now for the HR 40, if you look at it, you would think that it's just African Americans that are supporting this HR 40. It's actually our allies that are actually supporting this as well. So if we as a people actually took the time to go research HR 40, pick up the phone, get in contact with these people in position to actually push this to get it to the floor. That way it can make more traction. I think it's really important. You know, some of the things as far as just bridging the gap. I hear a lot of people talking about education from a reparation standpoint, but they need to pay us. Our ancestors were doing the work without pay for hundreds of years. There's such a huge generational gap that we have that we're still trying to fight against. There's such a huge wage gap that we're still trying to fight against. All these disparities that we have as a people, we need repair at the end of the day. And you guys know I 1000% support reparations, and it boggles me that we have people that are that this color that don't care for reparations. Give me your portion, okay? give me your portion of the reparations, because we deserve to be repaired. Every other culture, when it comes to Jews, when it comes to Native Americans, no one talks about them as far as their reparations and what they have received from our government and other governments. Nobody has talked about that. But when we bring it up, they tell us that we need to move on, that we should be on it. There's no gap, there's no this, there's no that. But no, it's our time for repair. And the only way to actually bridge the racial divide, the gaps that we have in our America, is by providing us with repair. And that begins with reparations.
Somebody jump in there.
Value. Go ahead.
I mean, what else you gonna say after she said that? Like,
I definitely agree.
What's up with your mic?
He knocked it
dropping the mic symbolically for you.
Oh.
No, I definitely agree with Tam. I don't like the people that look like us that don't agree with it or say we don't know how to manage that type of money. I feel like that's a generalization. We are not too far removed from slavery or Jim Crow. We are 50 years removed from Jim Crow. So I feel like it's due to us, not only financially, but to help with our psychological issues that we may have as well. So I agree with everything that Tam said. And I think we are due our money because, like she said, they always say we don't need it or we won't know how to manage it. But how did the Native Americans, the Jews, everyone else that was wrong, why were they trusted with managing the reparations that they received?
I'll take a casino.
I
guarantee you, not all of them used it correctly.
And nobody questioned how they used it, but they questioned how we use it.
Correct.
It's not. I mean, that is a.
Yeah, I forgot.
I guess,
Japanese as well.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at, should that be an issue? Like, oh, I don't know how you guys are going to use it. Just pay us the money. Let me worry about how I'm gonna use my own money.
Why you count my pockets?
Ain't there to worry about, But there's a lot of, and Tim is right. Education is one of the things they tout out, and I also think that's a distraction. It's like it's pennies is what they're trying to say. Oh, here's education. You can get that in return. Like no, we want land, and I'm gonna continue to tell it out. Land, houses, that's wealth. That's how you occur wealth in this country. That is the biggest way for you to occur wealth in this country. And most black people don't own a lick of nothing, but they TVs and they cars. That's it. And so we don't have. And those are horrible investments, right? They depreciate the moment you take it off the lot.
Right.
And so something that's going to grow in value we don't own, and so I think that's important for us to get. And so yeah, don't. The education is great, and you will make education free for all Black people. You can go to your state school for free. That's cherry on top. Let that be a cherry though. Don't let's not start with that as the starting talks.
And to your point,
I'll take
Ricky,
some stocks and bonds too.
what we did own was stolen from us.
Yep, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Bombed,
Mhm.
destroyed.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, there's no question as to the need of reparations. And this is not opinion, this is fact. So
Giving you the
that's all I have.
facts.
Sorry, guys.
I think we all on board on reparations on this panel.
Because I want my next topic. I want my mule and my land and my gold. A mule these days is a Mercedes. In the Greek, it's Mercedes. What's the next topic, Ms. Producer?
Discontinuing COVID relief for unemployment.
All right, so this is a big topic. So what happened? They let the extra $600 expire that folks were receiving every week, which equals to $2,400 a month. So that expired. The Republicans proposed to do 200, and the Democrats were like, nope, we need to give them the whole $6. And for the last thing I saw, I could be wrong unless there's something updated. Now it's expired. Ain't nothing now, right? Everybody just getting their regular unemployment. What are you guys' thoughts on this? What some feel as an atrocity, but some don't feel like it's an atrocity. Anybody bold enough to discuss what they think about this? I'll go last.
Well,
I don't know how the audience feels about it.
Go ahead,
I'm
Rick.
just playing. I'm gonna be honest.
I think it is an atrocity. Me and my wife know people, and some of her good friends that she worked with, husbands are furloughed or lost their jobs, and to equate that these people are lazy because we're going through a pandemic right now is absurd. You want to assert that whole term of it's because, correct me if I'm wrong, but the reason why they want to take it down to 200 is because they believe that it's making people rely on the $600, right?
They feel like they feel like that if someone is getting 600 extra a week, 2,400 a month, and they're getting their unemployment, a lot of people are getting paid more than what they get on their job. So there's no incentive to even try to go to work if you're getting
$2,400
paid
a month.
more.
$2,400 a month for some of the people that I know ain't what they was getting paid.
Nothing.
But that's in addition to their regular unemployment.
Yeah, and so they got houses. These people, it's not the same. So I can see how people. This is another thing though. Just think about it. Just really think about it.
Just walk with me. Just walk with me.
Let's say it does. Let's say they
unpack this thing.
Let's say it's making more money, right? This is a temporary fix. These people are going to have to get jobs again anyway, right? It's not like they're going to continue to get this money for the next 10 years, even 4 years or 3 years. This is a temporary thing. It already expired. Just extend it for the next 6 months. And then we'll come back to the table in the next 3 or 4 months, whatever. But this ain't something that most people that we know are that only are super reliable adults that have lost their job due to the pandemic. It's not all, people just on welfare, which people think it is, and it's just not true. I know some of these people. These people really, truly are suffering out there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think people are disillusioned to what unemployment is and how you get it. So when you're on unemployment, because yes, I've been on unemployment before, you have to actively be pursuing full-time employment.
Yeah.
And if you are offered a full-time job,
not right now, you don't. You don't have to actively, according to Texas, I don't know where you sit, but in Texas, you don't have to actively be pursuing.
That's only if you're furloughed. Like
Yeah.
if your job has furloughed you for a certain amount of time and you know you're going back to that job, then you don't have to be actively
And this
pursuing,
is this guy. He's
but you're
furloughed.
still not getting your full
Yeah.
salary. When you're getting unemployment, you're only getting anywhere between like 30 to maybe not even, you're usually getting about 40% of what your salary normally would have been. That's how much you're receiving. So, like, and you're only receiving that income every 2 weeks.
I'm a
So,
little
every
torn
2
here.
weeks, you're getting about 40% of what you would have been getting if you were working. So, that $600 goes on top of just that 40% to try and make up the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are not actively furloughed from a job that has said you're off for this amount of time, and on such and such day or after this many months, we're going to bring you back, you have to be actively pursuing a job. And you also have to accept whatever full-time job you get, even if it's not in your field, even if it pays drastically less than what you were making before. If you had a job that was paying you $25 an hour and you're out applying for jobs, you just randomly decide, oh, I'm gonna go to Quick Trip and apply for a job, and Quick Trip offers you a full-time job at $10 an hour, you have to take that full-time job at $10 an hour or your unemployment will be discontinued.
I think
So
Democrats should just let them do it.
I'm,
More
So
votes.
I'm
is it a
torn here
mess?
because
Yeah,
that's not happening.
unemployment ain't what that is.
That's not happening. I work in HR, and honestly, that's not happening. In a regular world, will they cut off unemployment and things of that nature? Are they actively pursuing or telling them to pursue work? In a regular world, yes, but right now they're not doing that. And I speak directly from experience where I literally have a team that hands out jobs and people are declining these jobs because they have been receiving more for the unemployment with the extra $600. So it makes more sense for them just to receive that unemployment. And also I'm a little torn here because people have been, I won't say getting by based on their regular unemployment. I won't say they've been getting by, but they have been doing it. So it's not like the prices of food or any of that has gone up during COVID. I actually think the prices, mostly things have gone down. Mostly things have gone
Rent
down.
hasn't gone down.
But I was gonna say,
So they were getting by with this unemployment. So now with this extra $600 that they've been getting, I won't call it a handout, but they've been getting an extra hand. You're getting an extra hand where people who have lost their jobs prior to COVID, they've been making do with just the basic unemployment. So these people that
So who
have
are these
essentially
people? Are we talking about people that who've had career jobs and professional jobs and end up losing their jobs because of COVID-19?
People lose their job every day, Rick.
That's
In
right.
corporate world, blue collar people
Right.
lose, and I'm one of those people. You know what I'm saying? I've been on unemployment myself, and I've had to make do myself. And I think most of us have had that experience, but we didn't get an extra $600 when we were in that position. We got whatever they told us what the max was in that season. So I don't think just because it's COVID. I'm trying to connect the dots because it's COVID. Why do they need an extra $600 when people who lost their jobs prior to COVID, they were just basically getting unemployment and making do? So what's the variance?
Did we forget about the people though that it took longer now that it was more people that were requesting unemployment because there's people here in Georgia, they're trying to hire more people to work for the department here that handles unemployment in order to get to the claims that have not even been settled yet or investigated yet. So we have people like that have been out of work for 30 days that have not gotten anything. So I to me, it's an atrocity. The fact that when you get the extra $600 is more money than what you were previously making, it makes me wonder why can't they raise minimum wage? Like we have people here that are not making anything, they're struggling. And I'm not going to count anybody's pockets, but I think it's they need the extra $600. It's a case by case thing, but I feel like just give it to them.
Yeah, everybody can't be
and when you
lumping in the
look at
same
the amount of stimulus money that the United States has given out versus other countries and the way that they've helped bolster their economies during the pandemic, like, come on, y'all.
South Korea
I
is
agree with
one.
I
that.
just
South Korea,
I agree
but it's
with
also
that.
economic
So
as well.
put extra.
You give people
let them
extra
people
money
have
so
it.
they can spend more money too as well. So they're able to put more money back into the economy. You know, you're able to boost it up a little bit on that end as well. You know, so that helps. You know, but mortgages don't go
I'm
away.
torn as Tammy is on this because I see the opinion of, and maybe looking from it my fiscal conservative side, perhaps.
Looking from that
And if I was
side,
in a
you gonna
situation,
go
I
like,
perhaps
I'm sure you would look at it
different if I was in the situation. But and I have been in this situation before. I've been unemployed, and I've been unemployed to where I couldn't get unemployment because I kept getting unemployment one time, and I, even when I was working, I was still sitting there. So I'm like, oh, don't tell nobody. Just pay it back now. That was back when I was young in my 20s, stupid. But I filed and they wouldn't give it to me. They said, you still owe, so you owe $1,000. So when you pay that, then we'll let you get it to your file. All right, so I get it, but as I see what Tam was saying about people do lose their jobs every day, right? And are people really spending as much right now than on their main bills as they I know Shantae was fried when I was it's past the what's the thing? What's they call it? Past
Statute
the
of
expiration. What they
limitations.
call it about
Statute of limitation.
has passed, and I paid it back already. There's a whole lot of fried people, you know. But yeah, as I was saying, so Tam probably like, shut up. Like, shut up. But I feel like
you hear the whole folks knocking at your door, just text us and let us know what's going on.
Any show on TFG TV is purely for entertainment purposes. Nothing is considered to be true. It's all entertainment value. There we go.
Oh my God.
But I just feel like 200 should be suffice actually, because it's above what you're already getting unemployment. It's like, what would you do?
But your unemployment is way less. Like your unemployment doesn't equal your paycheck.
Yeah, unemployment is just a percentage. It's not the whole paycheck. So
it never has though. I mean, the unemployment never has equated to your paycheck.
Right, but these people got their kids at home full time now. Like they're not going to school.
I did too when I was unemployed. I did too.
This is an unprecedented time, right? There are businesses that are not coming back. There are jobs that are not coming back ever, right? We have never seen this before. So this ain't the same thing as though you're saying, oh, well, yeah, jobs. People do lose jobs every day. They're going to lose jobs tomorrow. They're going to lose jobs in 10 years from now. That's going to happen. But when you have this massive influx of job loss and businesses closing down, you know, I think, it's trying to stabilize everybody so you won't fall into a deep depression. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that because they're not getting their full check, and a lot of people are truly suffering. A lot of business owners are truly suffering. So listen, if you giving somebody extra $600 to help out, keep their lights on, keep their mortgage going, there are people who right now are still losing their homes. Right now, it's happening. I just saw a story of a lady she lost her business because of COVID, and she is getting ready to lose her home. She said she don't know where she's going to go. I just saw that.
I just saw a story of this old man that had been in his house, and the sheriff came and put him out. He is COVID positive, and the sheriff came out and put him and all his stuff outside. He was literally sitting outside his front door with all his stuff, COVID positive, because he couldn't work.
Yeah,
he wasn't getting unemployment.
I see both sides.
I believe in that story. Yeah. He is still waiting to get his unemployment claim paid.
And Shantae is correct with your bills don't stop, because I know some companies are letting you defer, but that bill is not going anywhere. So you are accruing all these bills, these late fees, Plus, your unemployment may be on hold because they're still investigating whether or not they should pay you.
And they don't have
So,
to, and they don't have to let us back
Yeah.
Didn't they
inside.
halt repos and foreclosures? Didn't they halt those?
for some
Didn't
companies,
they put a halt on all that stuff? Like foreclosures and repos and stuff?
for some companies.
Alright.
But the thing is, though, it's still like I'll
Get
say
it
I
together,
think
Rick.
with Wells Fargo is in trouble right now because of certain things that they did with people's accounts. So
Wells Fargo always in trouble.
Yeah, I
I'm
understand. I
a,
get it. Katie's like, go ahead, Tam.
I was just gonna say. I mean, I'm gonna say this. I don't frown on anybody getting unemployment. I've been there, and I could potentially be there at some time in the future. Who knows? I mean, life happens
Me too.
to all of us.
Mhm.
I just, I didn't get an extra $600 when I was on unemployment. I was struggling on unemployment, and I was looking for a job. And I get maybe the jobs aren't out there. To Rick's point, maybe the jobs aren't out there, so they're essentially stuck in those positions. But I can say COVID should be forcing people to save money in this season. You shouldn't have a lot of miscellaneous things going on. And if you do, you just bring that on yourself. So
I
people
don't think,
should.
I think that's a small minute of people who's incurring more bills now. I think more people are getting rid of stuff. I just saw a report about DirecTV losing so many subscriptions because
They went to
people having to,
Spectrum. Spectrum just did a report, said they gained. So
yeah, they losing.
I'm just kidding.
Netflix is gaining, because people at home, but you can pay $10. But I think we have to look at it. This is a different time, y'all. Just
Mhm.
it's different. It's not the same.
I know some Republicans benefiting right now in my family
Well,
from unemployment.
at the time, I was on unemployment at one time, but it was when Bush was in office, and I think there was a stimulus then. I was receiving like 856, and he kept
That's
extending
right.
it.
There was
And
a stimulus.
so I
And in
loved it
2008.
because it helped me get back on my feet. And at the time, I was a single mom, so
Yeah.
you don't know what people do with their money. You would just hope that it's the right thing. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I feel you, Kendrick. I agree. I believe you.
Look, if they gonna
It's
give
hard
out
to find.
trillions of dollars, then they need to go ahead and pay us their reparations. They got the money to do it.
Yeah.
You want to get a lot of Republicans out of the House.
They got the money to do it. I don't want to hear how are we gonna do it. We
You gonna have to get a
we
lot.
know how to do it. Stop playing with us.
A lot of Republicans have to
Run me my money. Run me my money. Forget that $600. Give me my money.
That's the next one. We got any more topics to talk about? But I think we all get both sides. Trump, again, this is being real short. It's just basically just Trump trying to push back the election because he wants the economy to get back better. He wants to stop giving out the $600. So he want to keep more money so the economy can look better, so it don't look ugly on him when the election time. That's all that's about. So that's real simple. He's resting on his economy because the economy wasn't bad before COVID. So I got to give him that. Although I don't like him, the economy wasn't bad before COVID. It was actually great in my opinion for me. But he can't use that anymore because there is COVID. Life happened, and he's gonna have to get up out of the office, get up out of there. And Biden's gonna get in, and I almost throw up when I say it, but Biden is gonna win probably, most likely based on the polls. And we're trying to figure out who the vice president is going to be.
Why are you going to throw up?
He heard him talk.
Because he said he can smell his next VP.
Have you heard Donald Trump?
He's so close to hearing it. He's so close to picking his VP that he can smell her. Listen, I'm gonna vote for Biden. I don't have no problem with saying it against my values, against my physical values.
I know where you're going with that, Ken.
Did he say about grabbing them by the pee though? Didn't Trump say that he was grabbing women by the? He didn't say that, but there's a lot of. He didn't say that, but there's about 100 videos of Biden getting behind women and little girls sniffing them in the ear.
doing
Susan May
this.
hair.
He's a chronic smeller.
So-
What's wrong with? He's a chronic smeller.
So let's just
Are
say
you-
the old
are you
white men are a
18?
little weird. The old white men are a little weird.
He's a
All white
chronic
men have
smeller.
weird tendencies. Let's just say that.
Who do you think his VP is gonna be? Lamar.
All right. So here are the options. Kamala Harris is one of the top three. Susan Rice is one of the top three, and Karen Bass is one of the top three. Those are the 3.
Mhm.
Of course,
I wish you would have chosen
white lady that
Stacey
ran for
Abrams.
president.
Oh.
Why?
Stacey Abrams is good. People talk about her losing the election, but they forget that Kemp was Secretary of State here in Georgia, and he was over the election, so he fixed that election. One thing that was historic about Stacey Abrams is she lost by a small margin. Like she's good in what she does.
Voter suppression.
Yeah.
What experience does she have?
What experience did Donald Trump have?
Thank you.
When you talk about Donald Trump, we get him out of
I know
there.
we don't talk about somebody having experience to be vice president.
I'm just
I
saying.
hope they do, boy.
I'm just saying, like after putting 45 in office, like the question of experience is no longer a question.
Yeah.
It's no longer a valid question that anybody can ask after 45 made it there.
That's not true. So we're gonna keep the standard here. We're not gonna raise the standard back to common sense. We're gonna keep it down here.
I'm not saying we're not gonna raise the standard, but I'm saying you can't say, oh, we're not gonna vote for this person because they don't have any experience. When 45 been clowning for the last 4 years.
Yeah. And was a reality star, and like he's just a businessman. He never had
when
any.
You think about all of the things that have happened in his life that are completely like multiple wives, multiple baby mamas, affairs, bankruptcies.
And he has his own
There's not been another president that could have had all of that in his past prior to taking office and still would have made it.
Who's in the running?
Especially Barack.
Mm-hmm.
Who's in the running?
Yeah. Who's in the running again for VP? Let's get these names out here.
Kamala Harris.
Why you always gotta
say
her name first?
Because I like her, but I'm okay if she don't win now. But it has to be that woman. Why do I like her?
Yeah, Kamala Harris. My issue with her, not to cut you off. My issue with her though is when she was a judge, she was very like her policies in the judicial system. It was not good against our community.
And when she was a district attorney, like not at all.
Yeah,
she's not an ally. She just looked like us.
Yeah,
I'll skin folks and
thank you.
I disagree with that. I'm not gonna say she's not an ally.
I'm not on board with the whole don't put black guys in jail when they do bad things stuff. I'm not into that. I'm not interested in that. I'm not on that team.
She was though, Lamar.
No. He said
I'm not on the team of down on somebody that because they were. I feel like they're equal across the board when it comes to put people in jail. I don't think you get leniency just because you look like me.
No, it's not about leniency, but it's about fairness.
I believe that if you did the crime, you absolutely need to do the time. Absolutely, without question. But when there is a question of the motive behind something or the way people are sentenced, and you purposely sentence someone harsher because of the color of their skin, which is things that she did, you add on additional charges that you would not do to someone else that had committed that same crime of another race, then I got a problem with that.
Y'all know some of her cases where she has really, made a.
There ain't no proof of it.
I'll look it up because she was an advocate for the 3 strikes, which I'm not. Like the 3 strikes rule is not good.
Listen, I'm not saying.
So if somebody one person robbed you 3 times, you don't want them to go to jail.
Can we say something though? Let's just be honest, okay? All of us have made mistakes, and if any of us is making policies
Damn.
Okay, my bad.
If anybody, but seriously, if anybody was making policies 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and you come back and you look at our record, there are probably some things in there that we wouldn't even agree with today. And so I think it's fair to look at somebody's record, whole entire record, but I also think it's fair to look at somebody's what they're saying and who they are today.
And recent record.
And what they speak about right now. I think that's important because it's not alone to go. It's not just enough to go on somebody's past and ignore what they're saying today, because you're not looking at the whole picture. I like all three of these candidates. Now I will say that what's her name?
Karen Bass. She's
Karen
the Congress
Bass.
lady for California.
Her
and chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus, which I don't know what they do, but I'll talk about it on a political show when I research.
There are some
You
things
said
in
the
her
Congressional Black Caucus? Oh.
that kind of worried me, with like talking about Scientology and all that stuff, and talking about Fidel Castro. But again, just because somebody, how I even thought about certain things in the past, if in things that I've said, we talk about this with cancel culture, right? With Kevin Hart, the things that old jokes he'd have said, and we got canceled with the whole Oscar thing. If you look at people, I think that it's truly important to look at the whole person, not just their past records. I like Kamala. I think she'll be a great vice president. And I think Susan Valdez would be a great vice president as well.
Are you praising the Lord, or?
I think
I want to go next.
Go ahead.
I want to go next. All right, so I want to touch on some of Shantae's comments, and I want to respond to what Ricky said and add to. So Shantae said, Lamar, if he picked a white woman as a running mate, but Kamala on the Supreme Court, would I be okay with that? No. If he picks a white woman for a running mate, and he got 4 black women that have Ivy League degrees and senators and congresswomen and governors, I would not vote for Joe Biden. I don't care if Trump gets to stay in there or not. I think it's a slap in the face to black women and to black folks as a whole, and he needs to be slapped to sleep. All right, so I think he needs to put a black woman on Supreme Court regardless, and that can very well be Kamala if Kamala doesn't be the VP. I honestly think Susan Rice might get it, because Susan Rice was the ambassador to the UN, and she was also the national security advisor for Obama, and her and Biden became real close. And she's a bulldog, just like Kamala is. And I like, how they always try to stereotype black women as being hard and even sometimes the attitudes and all this stuff. These 2 women, I wouldn't say they are hard. I don't know about the attitude because I don't know them personally, but they are hard. They can stand their ground, and they can deal with these white dudes that run Washington, and I like that. They're not pushovers. They're not all nice like Keisha Lance Bottoms in Atlanta, and all the black folks in Atlanta want her to be considered, and she ain't got nobody experience other than Atlanta. Sorry, Candace, I know you're in.
Don't talk
Georgia.
about my mayor.
but these women, Kamala, who went to Howard. Howard. Karen Bass, and what's the other one I said?
Susan
Rice.
Susan, who went to Princeton or something like that. These women can handle it. She is the most experienced when it comes to foreign policy, even more than Joe Biden. So she knows what she's doing. If those 3 don't get picked, something is wrong. If he picks that white lady that ran for president, what's her name? Those lady?
Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth
Warren.
Warren, Elizabeth. Is he frozen?
Is he frozen?
The white lady. It was one of the top 3. Massachusetts. Senator.
He can't hear us.
Pam, you want to go?
I got nothing.
Okay. Elizabeth Warren, I thought she said she didn't want it.
Yeah, I think I believe he should pick a black woman. Yeah, then I could have sworn she said that person.
Talking.
I don't hear him talking. So what are you saying?
Still talking.
Okay, you want to pick a black
lady with the prostate legs?
He
not
picking up like he didn't leave.
voting.
I
Okay.
can't hear anybody.
Because he kept talking the whole time.
Wow.
Like he didn't leave.
I was watching his lips move.
Oh, y'all missed my soliloquy?
we heard nothing. Sorry.
Do I
Yeah.
need to repeat all of it? I'll let
No, you don't.
I'll let
No.
Cam go, then
We
I'll
get
jump
the
back.
gist of it.
Pick up at Elizabeth Warren.
We got the gist of it.
Yep.
I just said that if he picked the lady with the prosthetic leg, the Asian lady in the chair, I'm not voting for him. He picked Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan. I'm not voting for him. He picked the old white lady, whatever her name is, y'all said a while ago. I'm not voting for him. And no way he should pick these white ladies. They're not as experienced as Kamala, Susan. They are more experienced than Karen Bass, and she's too nice. She likes Stacey Abrams.
I feel
But
like
he needs to pick one of those two. And I would
right
not.
now.
You said what now?
I feel like Fauci behind Trump right now when he be talking.
Why?
Because you just be saying stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like how he was in the beginning.
Yeah, like he ain't Uncle Joe no.
Yeah.
He not.
And then
did
Really?
And he's very defensive. You ever see anybody get interviewed? Anytime he get interviewed, if they ask him, he be like ready to snap at him. What'd you say, Rick?
Who y'all talking about?
Fauci.
I'm talking about Biden. I'm talking about
Y'all talking about
Y'all talking about Fauci? I'm talking about Biden. Biden, I don't know nothing about Fauci. Fauci, yeah, whatever. But Biden, let me go back to Biden real quick. Biden is losing it, but I'm gonna vote for him if he picks a black vice president. But he is very defensive in the interview. He don't want to be asked about nothing, and he's taking way too long to pick a vice president. It don't take this long. Name somebody, or I'm gonna get fed up and be tired of waiting, and I ain't gonna vote for you.
This is not no different time. They do it right before the convention, give them a bump into the going to the convention. There's nothing different. I would say this whole thing that Biden is losing his mind. You go back and look at Joe Biden. Even in 2012, 2008, Joe Biden has always had an issue with gas. Always. he can. This ain't nothing new. I think that this is just done on Trump. He couldn't get the whole what did he get impeached for? What was it? The
Donald Trump.
Yeah, I got Ben guys.
He lied on. He lied. Trump, I thought, was impeached for lying or something.
Yeah, but what was the country he was talking with?
Russia.
No. That's not Russia. That was a Mueller report. What was he impeached for? Lamar?
I forgot.
He was on the phone with the president of
China? What is you talking about?
Anyway,
Are you sure it was not Russia?
Somebody come and tell us.
You ain't talking about was
Let me look
Putin?
it up.
No, he wasn't impeached for that. He was impeached for lying about Joe Biden and his son. And
Well, he was
holding
like
aid
Watergate.
He was holding aid from
He solicited foreign interference in the 2020 U.S. presidential election to help his re-election bid, and then obstructed the inquiry itself by telling his administration officials to ignore subpoenas for documents and testimony. That's why it's officially impeached.
Yeah, but who was the country that he was talking to? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Joe Biden.
Russia.
No,
It was Russia.
No, guys, come on, y'all. It just happened this year.
Rick, it's your point, Rick. You tell us.
Anyway, he kept saying that on Joe Biden to try to make him sound crooked. You know, he wanted to do that. Joe Biden is crooked. Joe Biden is crooked. You know, and then Ukraine, everybody. Thank you. Ukraine. Yes. So
Adam, you so right.
So yeah. So when he couldn't pin the Ukraine stuff on Joe Biden for being crooked. Now he has to use this he's senile thing. Joe Biden has been talking his way since he's been in his public eye. You know, this ain't nothing new. So I think when we start saying Joe Biden is old,
you know what's interesting though?
We taking Donald Trump's talking points and kind of reaffirming what he wants us to put out there in the ether, which is, you know, Joe Biden is
listen, but Rick, so this guy's in his camp has said that for his vice presidents, he wants someone that he can mesh with and that's loyal. So this is the negatives towards Kamala Harris. They feel like she is too ambitious, and I feel like that's just something they use towards women, particularly black women. She's too ambitious. Who's not ambitious that's going for VP or president? So she's too ambitious, is what him and his team is saying. So they're not too sure about her because of that. But they want somebody that can start on day one. If something would have happened to him in office, they want somebody that can take over. Need to be somebody ambitious, in my opinion, because Karen Bass said she don't have any aspirations.
I haven't heard that, and I hope they're not putting that out there. To me, that is radical suicide.
Who is Val Dibbs? That's one of the people too.
Yeah, Val Dibbs is one of the people.
Yeah,
and I like her a lot.
Florida. She was the police chief in Orlando. And I like her too. She's got bad wigs. You can see her suicide.
That's political. That's political suicide to say that I need to pick a vice president to take over for me because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish out my term that I was elected for. I hope
he's old, though. He's like 78.
That'd be horrible. You put that out there.
He said that he's acknowledging his age, and so that's something he's taking into account. But he's saying that out of one side of his mouth, but the other side he's saying he don't want somebody that's too ambitious. So they don't know what he wants. And what's crazy to me, real quick, I'm gonna say this because the lady a few minutes ago said that the stuff about Kamala. Y'all know about Biden's crime bill, right? Back in 90 something. It's okay, y'all overlooking that like it was nothing. So y'all gotta overlook Kamala's when she was AG, since y'all overlooking Biden for the crime bill, 1994.
The only reason why I'm overlooking Biden is because Biden is the only other choice compared to Trump. Now, when it comes to VP, we have a choice.
No, we don't have a choice. Whatever
Do we?
Whatever he did. We have more of a choice when Joe Biden was running for president.
Right.
His VP pick. That's his whole pick.
Y'all, the black men, they say we don't stand by black women. I'm standing by y'all right now. I'm decreeing that I'm gonna stand with y'all and not vote for Biden if he don't pick a black woman as VP. Okay, let's all do that. All right.
No, I'm not okay with that.
No, sir.
No, I'm not okay with that. As a black woman, I'm not okay with that because I am a firm believer that a vote for anybody but Biden is a vote for
Donald Trump.
45 to become 46.
That's right. I don't think he's gonna become 46.
I don't think he is either. But every vote that does not go for Biden,
I mean, you can't become 46,
is a vote
right?
for 46. 45 as 46.
No, he would still say 45. You only become 46 if you're a new president.
But we know what she meant. 2 terms.
Educate.
I'm getting off this.
We didn't have a lot of good choices. We had so many people on the Democratic nomination.
We had Bernie Sanders.
Election, honestly.
A lot of people in the beginning in those beginning states didn't participate, didn't vote. So it was like by the time that the primary got to Georgia, it was really nobody to vote for because Biden was already elected.
Bernie Sanders probably would have been the greatest president of modern times.
No,
Don't start.
I believe.
I thought Elizabeth Warren was good, but it just seems like she completely fell off since she dropped out. But I like Elizabeth Warren.
They all fall.
They're too old to be office. They're too old. We need to get younger people in the office.
I like the other guy though. I like the gay guy too, Buttigieg, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Lay a peep.
Buttigieg.
Can we get off this?
I like it too, but this is some things you can't wrap your head around for the presidency. We're conservative. Black Christians would never voted for him.
I know.
I don't even think black Christians would have voted for Buttigieg against Trump.
I agree.
No, I don't think they would have either.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Homosexuality is a big thing in the church. Y'all know about that.
Shantae, you smart. How the heck you know how to spell his name? Buttigieg. And then the other billionaire, he just disappeared after paying $1 billion on his campaign for nothing. He didn't disappear.
Who, the stock guy? What was his name? Was it a stock guy?
No, you
No.
talking about Bloomberg.
Yeah.
Bloomberg, yeah.
He spent his $1 billion.
Well, that's how I
yeah,
always do. Everybody go off the ether when you get the top guy, and it's all focused on the top guy. That's who it is. That's what we focus on. And our top guy is Joe Biden, who needs to pick Kamala Harris, or in my opinion, Susan Rice or Val Demings to be vice president.
We can
There was a
and that's the final word. Oh, go ahead, Candace. That was a good final word, though. But go ahead, Candace.
I was gonna say there was another guy that ran for president, well, the Democratic ticket too, a black guy. I forgot his name. He was bald, light skinned. I like him.
Oh, I thought she was gonna talk about the other guy.
Cory Booker.
Yes, I
New
like
Jersey.
Who you thought she was talking about, Tim?
Oh, dude from Florida.
Cory Booker out there.
Oh, you mean the mayor?
Who you talking about?
The guy that was mayor and he got caught in the hotel.
What's his name, Rick? Florida.
He ran for mayor.
Let me look him up. Well, he ran for governor of Florida, but he was the mayor of Tallahassee.
He came in.
But he just got caught in a hotel with some men.
Andrew Gillum.
Yeah.
Hotel room. You didn't see that? Okay, listen. This is what happened. Let me tell you.
What's the tea?
So Gillum said he was going to a wedding in somewhere, Miami or somewhere, right? And he told his wife he was going to a wedding, right? And next thing you know, somebody called the police because somebody they say somebody overdosed inside a hotel room, right? So the police bust into the hotel room. Gillum is flat out drunk and ass naked on the floor, and there's a gay prostitute,
a male escort,
gay prostitute guy, then overdose, escort, then overdose. So now Gillum, every time you see him on TV, he doing this, and he said he went to rehab because he had a drinking problem and he didn't realize how much losing governorship.
He said the male escort was just his friend. They were just friends.
But yeah, he's gonna be there for a wedding. He lied like a mug. His wife, she gonna leave once he get out of.
Is this pre-post?
It was a few months ago. Was it? End of last year or beginning of this year? Something like
it was
that.
Just a few months ago.
It was this year.
It was this year, a few months ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I like everything on him laying ass nigga.
I like
he could have been the governor. And, I like him too. And he was on CNN. Rick, he had a CNN job. Well, MSNBC, one of them. He lost all that.
Is he still? He not on CNN.
White gay ass.
I wonder why I don't see him on CNN no more. That's probably why. But I don't. That's not what. Come on, stop. They don't got no pictures.
His whole career over. So now he got to go.
They do have the picture though.
They got pictures for real. Oh,
yeah.
Man, that's jacked up.
Yep, photograph.
I can't unsee it.
Oh man, that is.
And he called himself trying to explain. He don't talk about the
suicide right
the hotel
point. At least
he only talk about the drink.
Rely on the evangelical vote. So that'll be fine. We'll forgive him.
You say what?
At least he's a Democrat. They don't have to rely on the evangelical vote to get him through. So that'll be fine.
Yeah, Democrats don't mind indiscretions like
no,
that. You know,
I mind.
Invite funerals and everything.
I feel sorry for his wife
about him
and
being in
family.
the car with a male prostitute. That don't bother me at all. The drugs, yeah.
It was two men in the room. It was two men in the room, and they were having a party.
Listen, whatever.
They were in there praying.
Oh my heart.
They were having Bible study
at 8:30.
with the Bible that's in the drawer.
The one that was talking
nice thing.
Black
That's
men
the Bible they was using.
Black men don't cheat. They was having Bible study.
They having Bible study.
And Shantae is right. Marion Barry,
he
did get reelected, but he's Republican.
Is he Republican or is he Democrat?
Marion Barry was not a Democrat.
The thing about it is, well, a whole lot about to come out about this what's the name, Epstein stuff. So they already named Clinton having been on the island with the young girls and the orgies. So they named him Kimofo.
Trump wasn't up with Epstein too.
They won't say his name, but they saying a hotel magnet, so it's gonna come out. They redacted a whole bunch of the names for now, but it's gonna come out.
Documentary. But nobody can see that he was with young girls, so who knows?
Yeah, they're scared to say it. Like the woman's scared to say Trump's name. She'll only say hotel. Somebody has a hotel chain. I don't understand why they do that. I think they wait until it get closer to the election. Hopefully that's what it is, but they need to say it.
A lot of people got hotel chains. It could be Hilton. That could be anybody.
No,
nobody else. Nobody care about who. Nobody care about Hilton. Conrad Hilton. He dead.
It's Trump.
It could be anybody.
We don't know no other.
You don't have to be the great president of the United States of America. Donald J.
Okay, Trump gonna be sick next year. All right, guys. Final thoughts. Right. Let's go to final thoughts, and we'll go around the room. Everybody give a 30-second final thought. Then we're gonna get out of this piece.
I'll go first.
And I'm gonna go eat some drink.
You gonna eat some drink?
Thanks.
We're doing a liquid cleanse today.
Okay.
So how do you eat I can't drink? Get no.
Okay.
They got a little.
So you freeze it, then you eat it. Okay, let me stop. All right. So first, I want to say thank you guys for having me back on. For those who wish me well through my whole coronavirus, ordeal that I went through this past week. Thank you. I'm fine. I'm much better. I receive it. But yeah, so I just want to thank you guys for that, and I can't wait to continue to come back on, and I love conversing and talking. It's good to see people because I've been stuck in my room for the last 3 days and got 7 more days left. 10-day quarantine.
So. I'll go next. If you haven't filled out your census form, fill it out. Or when the people come to your door to get it filled out, do the interview. Only takes 10 minutes. Pay us our money, reparations. A vote for anybody other than Biden, whether you really, really like him or not. If you vote for anybody other than Biden, it is a vote for 45 to stay where he is. And Lamar, even if he doesn't pick one of the black women, he'll go vote for Biden.
Absolutely not.
That's all I got. See y'all next time.
I'm gonna go get the homeless folks off the Skid Row and have them go vote for Trump with me.
Oh, and look forward to the next season of Latest Night coming soon.
All right, I'll go next. I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris, but if Biden selects her, I'm still voting for Biden. Rest in peace to Herman Cain, even though he did not support our community at all. We want the reparations.
Pouring out the green juice.
We want the reparations. What else? I guess that's it for me.
Well, I'll piggyback. And first and foremost, I hope you, Ricky, you do well through COVID and your family does well as well. Everybody dealing with COVID, anybody experiencing COVID with their family, our thoughts, they have to be political. Our thoughts and prayers are with you guys. But no, we're definitely thinking about you guys in this time. I want to thank you, Lamb, for letting me be a part of the show and grace it with my presence. Reparations. Reparations, we need it now. Okay, we can't wait for it. This is not something that we just want to talk about. Guys, please be active. Get on the phone with your representatives. Let them know what you want. If you don't do that, they're going to keep doing more of the same, and we can no longer be in an America where people are making decisions for us without our input. So please, please, please get on the phone. Do your census. Stop believing in conspiracy theories. Okay? Do your research and not on YouTube. Okay? And plug in. This show is plug in. This show's every Monday and Friday. He always has people on here sharing insight for us to be knowledgeable around what's going on in our communities and in the world. So make informed decisions, but most importantly, make a decision. Go vote. Go vote Trump out. But if you vote, I'm proud that you voted, because we all have a right to vote. And last but not least, we all have a responsibility to wear masks. Stay safe.
Mhm.
My turn. All right. So this is what I want to tell you.
Why he had
I
to
want
pick
to
up the mic
piggyback
like
off
this?
what Tom said.
Very white.
I always wanted to use one of these that was like this in the studio, but I'm not saying. I'm gonna piggyback on what Tam said. Wear your mask. And our thoughts are with you, Ricky. I was distraught when I got the message from the people. You know, I was distraught.
I'm happy.
I
want if something happened to me, I want you to be on the floor crying.
And I almost was, wasn't I, Tim? I was distraught.
He didn't know what to do with himself.
I didn't. I care about it.
I feel that. I feel that all the way over here.
I don't even want to think about
He said, "What should I do?"
Let's move on. Extended my did come here, man. All right, and your mom and them too, Sherelle. I hope they get better. You know.
Oh yeah,
Thank
I think that's some more. I think some more folks there at the church they got it too. That ain't symptomatic. That's related to me. It was in Mahia.
Oh my God.
Lamar.
Can we move on?
All right, I'm sorry. I just want to say in closing, I want to vote for Biden, and I plan to. I just want to do the right thing. It's too past time for Jim Crow folks to be running the office. We need some good young coloreds in office. Kamala Harris, Susan Rice, or Bass need to be in the office. We all are in agreement with Biden getting in there, but not making it through the first term. We want one of the other women to be able to take over and be president, so we can have our first woman president by any means necessary. And I know we're all in agreement with that. What do you want to say?
You said not getting through the first term.
Everybody.
I mean, he gotta die. Not get to the first term.
You trying to kill?
Yes. Not through death. Not incapacitation. Just through incapacitation, not being able to make decisions and be cognizant. Kind of like he is in his interviews, not be able to make.
Please remember that the views and comments made in TFG tonight are for pure entertainment purposes, and they do not necessarily represent TFG and any of its subsidiary companies.
I forgot our PR lady, our HR lady, and marketing person is over here.
Individual guests on the show.
Yeah, and director of communications. Like, please no.
I don't want him to pass. I just, his Alzheimer's is going to get worse. And so once your Alzheimer's get worse, let me tell you about what you want to do. You want to go ahead and step down.
And then you saying the man got Alzheimer's.
He don't know how to close.
Lamar.
Does he preach on the side? He don't know how to close.
Lamar.
I'm trying to close. Let me I just don't want the Alzheimer's to get worse and he starts sending us into unnecessary walls and getting all from our red.
This is your conscience.
Oh, look, the screen says thanks for watching.
And I just
this is your conscience.
I guess go ahead and close it out. But
I'm getting ready to close.
I just want us all to vote and do our
I'm closing the show right now.
And make sure we got a woman.
This is your conscience.
I think your producer is telling you something, sir.
Hit that bean footage. That fabulous bean footage. Everybody do a dance and a jig on the way out.
Not a jig.
Okay.
A jig.
Out the door.
Is it bad to say jig these days?
What the music at,
what are you doing? Why are you dancing like you in the 50s?
That's a jig.
You don't have a band behind you, sir.
What's that finger?
That's the finger, jitterbugging. Everybody call it jitterbugging.
Jitterbug. That's what the
God.
ain't that what what's that woman on the maple syrup name? What was she? Medea? What was she called?
I haven't played with you.
Ain't you
That
mine?
little
Age
crazy-
of
Oppression
Maya.
comes in many
Angel
forms.
Mom, right? That's how she danced on Tom and Jerry when she had that dress on. She come in there and she would
Okay.
hit him with that broom.
Yeah,
You did?
they hit it with the number.
Thank y'all for having me. I gotta
I'm getting ready to
go. Good night.
close.
What happened to the music?
All right, we done, Mr. Producer.
Bye.
I'm done.